If you hate Jesus, then just keep scrolling. But if you love Jesus, then stick around and watch until the end. God is saying to you today, how about you don't have to construct an empire or dominate an industry or be the number one at anything? What if you simply built a delightful life that makes you feel content, that brings you delight, that is generative and supportive? What if you healed the parts of you that need more and more and more? What if you redefined what success looks and feels like to you? What if you decided enough is enough? What if you felt content in the right here, the right now? What if you realized your life is likely a lot closer to your ideal than you ever thought? What if changing the filter in which you view your life makes everything that much more vibrant? How much open, empty space would be left for your joy if you stopped thinking you needed to earn it? How much time could you spend in the actual living of your life if you let go of striving for more? How much more beautiful would this moment right here become for you? Like this video if you believe in God. When you say you're working on yourself, what do you mean? Because if it's continuing the same routine that you've had for years and hope that you'll find what you're looking for within, then you're doing it all differently. If you're working on yourself, then truly work on yourself. Start a journal, begin saying no to things you don't want to do, and make more time for things that you do. And if you don't know what you want, then do a brainstorm. Start cooking fresh meals and make an effort to grab a coffee with your friend and call your mother to have that difficult conversation that you've been putting off for so long. Do some trauma work, focus on ways to ease your anxiety, go on walks, listen to health and positivity podcasts, watch comedy skits, read self-help books and romance novels or thriller or none at all if books aren't your thing. But the point is, be in motion. It's not enough to continue the same routine that you've had for the last few years, because working on yourself requires effort. It requires change. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. It requires you to talk about the difficult stuff, the scary stuff, the painful and heartbreaking stuff. Type 222 to claim it. Most of all, I hope you learn how to let go of the idea that it's too early. It is never too early to change your life. It is never too early to become the person you have always hoped you could be, or to love the way you have always wanted to love. We often forget that we are not bound by our past. Type 333 to claim it. Type Jesus is Lord if you love Jesus, and share this video to friends who love God to claim it. And if you already done, type, Yes, God. We don't have to be who we were a month ago. We don't have to make the same mistakes we did when we were younger. We can want different things. We can grow. We have to believe that we are never too young, never too hopeful, and never too unbroken to take our first steps towards change. We wake up every single day with the ability to start fresh. It is never too early to take advantage of that. It is never too early, type 1111 to claim it. Once upon a time, there was a girl who believed love would never find her. During the quiet hours between her thoughts and silence, she discovered herself. Maybe she doesn't talk as much as the one next to her. Maybe she doesn't smile as much as the one who gets everything. Maybe she sleeps with a fire no one sees because it has a stronger chance at surviving the winters without someone smothering the soul out of it. Maybe she's different from you, but don't confuse softness with powerless. Even flowers can fight for a patch of sunlight without destroying what they love. Pay attention to her kind. She will teach you how being yourself can be the love you've always looked for in those you thought were magic. Type Jesus is Lord if you love Jesus. There is nothing more vulnerable than caring for someone. It means not only giving your energy to that which is not you, but also caring for that which is beyond or outside your control. Caring is anxious to be full of care. To be careful is to take care of things by becoming anxious about their future, where the future is embodied in the fragility of an object whose persistence matters. Becoming caring is not about becoming good or nice. People who have being caring as their ego ideal often act in quite uncaring ways in order to protect their good image of themselves. To care is not about letting an object go, but holding on to an object by letting oneself go, giving oneself over to something that is not one's own. Type 9999 to claim it. You shouldn't look for answers in the people who left you. There are no revelations, no guides, no fulfillments of any kind. You're not going to find a map to paradise in these people. You're going to find confusion and a lot more questions, perhaps even more than you can handle. And I know people change, that is if they want to. But why give in? Why trust someone who has broken you before? I mean, people leave, and sometimes they have the nerve to come back. But that doesn't mean you've got to let them back in. You don't have to. You owe it to yourself to be happy. Besides, look at you now. You're a darn superstar. And in their absence, you have found more of yourself in your smile. You're stronger, and to be honest, you don't need to spiral around their universe brings you. You don't need people who have hurt you to convince you of how beautiful you are. You're a flower, and you don't drown the moment the rain starts falling down. Type 777 to claim it. If they walk away, let them. If they stop responding, let them. If they don't put in effort, let them. The further you fade away, one of two things will happen. The first is that they will notice and start putting in the effort that should have been there all along. The second is that they won't notice, and your relationship will cease to exist. If the second happens, you're better off. It was a one-sided relationship, which is not a relationship at all because a relationship requires two or more participants. No, it wasn't a relationship. It was a self-sacrifice. You can share our video to support our channel. Type Amen to a